Hello and welcome. My name is Candy Block. I am a yoga instructor, and in this video, I'm going to break down triangle pose. And so let's jump right into it. So we oftentimes come into triangle from some of our warrior poses. I just did another video on warrior two, so you can always check that out because that tends to be the most common. So that's what I'm going to come into here first. I do recommend for triangle pose to have some kind of block or a prop nearby that you can use for a little bit of extra support, and I will explain that when we get there. So from our warrior two, the most common way to come into triangle is to straighten through the front leg. And then it's all about the hips cutting back and reaching long and nice and long and forward. So our hip, I have my left leg forward and my right leg back. So my left hip is cutting back and under my right hip. And then with my arms out, you can really see this that I'm reaching forward. So this reach should feel like it's coming all the way through the side. The obliques are engaged. We're reaching through the rib cage and then the hands. So almost like I'm pulling your fingertips all the way to the front of the mat. When you can't go any further forward, that's where we drop down to triangle. So you'll notice from my reach forward and then dropping down, I don't move my upper body anymore. And that's where a block can be nice to have on the inside of the leg here. Even the block on the highest height typically feels really good for me unless I'm feeling extra open in my hips and legs, then maybe I'll bring it down a little bit further. If you don't have a block, there are lots of at-home alternatives. I have a whole video on those, or you can also place the hand onto the shin. So a couple of things that I commonly see in Warrior 3 that we want to avoid. So the first is that people think the goal is to get my hand down towards the earth. So when we cut the hip back and we're reaching forward, this is all great. And then they're like, I have to get down to the earth. And we end up completely dropping our shoulders. And now we're not at all in alignment. So the block is your friend. Even dropping the hand down to the shin is typically where a lot of people will actually need to be versus all the way down to the floor. When we're in triangle, and I'm going to try to show this as best as I can on the video, we want to feel like we're standing between two panes of glass. And so again, from my warrior two, I'm going to straighten through my front leg, and then I am pushing my left hip, so whichever leg is front, that's the hip that's coming back towards and under your back leg hip. So for me, my left hip is going back underneath of my right. I'm reaching forward, and then I'm dropping down to my block. So it's like I'm standing between two panes of glass. And typically that means we need to bring our top arm back further than we think. So we're really in a heart opener here. And then we're trying not to jut out a hip. So that's often what I see. The hip comes out. We're trying to get our hand down to the earth. So then we drop forward. And now we're not at all like we're between two panes of glass. So the hips stay in the same plane. And then we're opening. We can look up towards our top hand. We can also look down towards the hand that's on the block or the leg, or we can even just look forward. So we have lots of options based on what feels good in our neck. Our shoulder blades are pinching together along the back, again, in that heart opener. And then we can engage through the legs as well as the core to lift and come out of this. So hopefully seeing that from two different perspectives, looking straight on and then also from the side, will really help you in triangle pose. Again, this is one similar to Warrior 2 that even if you've done this a million times, there's something to be thinking about. Our body and our hips are often feeling different every time we get on our mat to practice. And so we really just want to feel into that. But ultimately, our goal is to keep the body like we're in a plane, like we're between two panes of glass, not kind of letting hips jut out, letting shoulders drop, or anything like that. Using the blocks, using our shin, not feeling like, oh, I'm an expert if I get my hand down to the ground. Because if you're coming out of alignment, out from those two panes of glass, then that's not the purpose of the pose. And so having your hand on the mat really doesn't mean or do all that much for you. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have, please like, comment, share, subscribe. I post yoga classes as well as these more technique focused videos. And I hope to see you back here soon. Thank you.